Hey, I'm Chelly and this is my movie review on The Fault in Our Stars. Before I start, it does contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, I'd recommend you don't watch this, but I will tell you now, if you haven't seen the movie, you need to go see it. It's sad, but you need to go see it. Now on to the main movie. Okay. I thought overall it was great. It was brilliant. It did highlight important issues and it was moving in so many ways. I mean, starting off from a young girl, then going on to other people with the same kind of condition. It's about a young girl called Hazel Grace Lancaster, and she has stage 4 lung cancer. Her mum decides she's depressed and sends her to this support group, which is known to be in the Heart of Jesus. And they all sit in a circle and say, hello, my name is, and I have. It's a really good movie. Just that part, Hazel is a very sarcastic teenager, and deals with her cancer pretty well. So that bit was pretty good. Then obviously in the support group she meets a boy called Augustus Waters, and he starts looking at her weirdly, raising the eyebrow, and she raises hers back, and they look at each other for a bit more. He had his leg removed due to cancer and was clear, and he was scared of the oblivion. And Hazel stood up and said, eventually we're all going to die. There was life before humans, there's going to be life after humans. The oblivion could happen today, tomorrow, or in a billion years. So won't you just ignore it? Which I thought was quite funny, because she just said ignore it, like, get over it. And they were still looking at each other weirdly. After this support group, they went to Augustus's place, and he was like into basketball but didn't really like it. And they had a friend, Isaac, who was at the support group, and he had his eye removed due to cancer and he's due to have his other one removed. He had a girlfriend, which I have to admit, it was nice knowing that people can have that connection. He was also very strong with his condition, and they kept saying always to each other, which I think meant I'll always love you no matter what happens. But in the end, she couldn't handle it and broke up with him. He was really upset, wanted to break the television, but Augustus wouldn't let him. Gave him a pillow, and obviously pillows don't break, so Augustus handed him a trophy and said break that, and kept breaking his trophies. Meanwhile, Hazel was reading this book called Imperial Affection, which is about a girl with cancer, and it stops in mid-sentence. In the book it's described, and she got Augustus to read it, and he called her after, texted her after, and said, please tell me, I'm missing pages, why does it stop there, what's going on? So they came up with their own ideas, but obviously it's not really what happened. In the end, Augustus emailed Peter Van Houting, the person who wrote the book, and got an email back, At this point I thought, it's really, really nice that celebrities are emailing their fans back, and Hazel sent them a message and got a reply, invited her to Amsterdam. But before she was due to go, she woke up, couldn't breathe. They had to drain the fluid again from her lungs, and they wouldn't let her fly. So she got really upset till Van Helsing said, "Can't wait to see you." And she said to her mum, "Why is he saying this? Didn't anyone tell him that I can't go?" And obviously, knowing that she couldn't go, I felt quite heartbroken and crushed, because I really, really wanted her to go, but she couldn't go. But then her mum said that she could, and I was happy for her. And just as she was happy, and she said to her lungs to get together just for this week, and then she'd be happy. She went with Augustus and her mum, and well, it was like a romantic trip down to Amsterdam. Augustus has used his wish for help for Hazel, and for them to be together as well. They both went and looked around and had dinner together, which I was starting to ship them. I thought Hazel and Augustus are endgame, very much endgame. So I was enjoying it. And then they met this Van Helsing guy, and he was an idiot. He just put on some music and was like trying to get in the groove, and it was a bit weird, and I just don't understand why he did it. But he did, and I understand that he did that for a reason, but what's the reason behind it? It's odd. Yeah. So they didn't get the answers they were looking for. But it wasn't a wasted trip, because they went to the Anne Frank Museum, and Hazel, bless her, managed to climb up the stairs and survive it, and then Augustus dropped the bombshell that he still had cancer, like everywhere in his body, and it was terminal. That made me tear up a little bit, because I didn't think that it was right that he has to have this thing, and neither does she, but he has it back now, and it's just horrible. And eventually Isaac lost all of his sight, so he was okay with it, but only had his stick, and he egged the car of his ex-girlfriend, which was quite weirdly, just weird. But anyway, and then Augustus wanted to, he kept calling up Hazel, and they agreed to just be friends, but there were definitely more than that. And the most ones that I can remember from the movie is him going, "Okay," 3 dots, and her going, "Okay," 3 dots, and him saying, "OMG, stop flirting with me." And it was just so, so sweet. Oh, it's so cute. Then Augustus called her one night and said that he was at the gas station, and he had a wound or something that was infected, and that was really sad. Like, I thought he was going to die, and I literally was going to cry. Till I heard that he wasn't dead, he was okay. I would just breathe a sigh of relief, because I really thought he was actually going to die. And just as things are getting great and the ending's coming up, he plans his own funeral, which is a bit odd. Like, he wanted to hear what Isaac and Hazel would say. And then 8 days after that, and a picnic with Hazel. But 8 days after this picnic with Hazel, he died in ICU, which made me cry for a little bit, because I just didn't know why they would kill him off like that. It's kind of sad. Like, they killed him, just killed, gone. Quite shocking. Which was a bit more towards the end, and they started, that guy, Peter Van Helsing, came along to the funeral, which was a little odd, and gave Hazel a slip of paper, and she screwed it up. Then Isaac said to her, Augustus wrote that. So she read it, and you could, obviously in the film, hear his voice doing the overview of the letter that he'd written. And you saw flashbacks of him, which really, really got to me, because it just, hurts a lot, I guess. It was just so painful, and and that's when I cried. I completely cried at that point. Right at the end just got to me and it made me cry. That she's going to be without her loved one, and it's just terrible. Like, why would they kill him? That's not like my view. Like, why do you want to kill him? I get it. It's real life, but to me, I just don't think he should die. I don't think any of them should have died. But I never watched a film with a sad ending before, so that's my view on this film and sad endings. But apart from that, it was a brilliant film. Great storylines, great characters. It's just the ending I'm not too fond of, because obviously he passed away and it just wasn't right for me. I've just come back not long ago and I'm still like pretty upset about what I saw. I just cried and it's still really, really upsetting. But yeah, that's really all I've got to say. I haven't finished reading the book yet, which I know seems really weird because most people have read the book before the film. But I've only made up to chapter 7 of the book. So I will read the book and I will do a book review and then I'll do a comparison of film and book to see which one I would prefer. So yeah, it's a good movie. So if you're going to go see it, take tissues. Take the tissue because you're going to need them at the end. It's just that sad that you really are going to need them at the end, and I would recommend you take tissues. I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, as in 10 being amazing and 1 being practically rubbish. I'd rate it a 9 because I just didn't like the ending. But a 9 is pretty good. Would I buy the film if it comes out on DVD? Not this minute. I probably wouldn't. I'd have to wait like a while, like a long while, before I even think about getting it on DVD because of how sad it was, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to like move on with when watching it again. But it is a brilliant movie, like I keep saying. So yeah, brilliant movie. You should watch it. It's really good, but will make you cry. So I guess I'll see you all later, and I'll do a book review when I can. So bye guys.